From the Dallas On Air studios in beautiful Dallas, Texas, this is Next Issue on www.dallasonair.com. And now, here's your hosts, Clay Harrison and Kyle Gondas.
Hey, what's up, folks?
Hey, now.
Sunday morning. Hope you guys are awake and waking up to actually see us.
Yeah, we are streaming for the first time on Twitch. Hello, Twitch streamers. Hopefully we pick up a few new viewers.
Yeah.
We will be streaming live every other Sunday morning. I don't think I can get up every Sunday morning like this. Welcome.
I barely can, thanks.
Welcome to the Next Issue podcast. We are a bi-weekly comic book podcast out of Dallas. We're part of the Dallas On Air Live family. We are also co-host on Just a Sec, and we will be streaming that after this show. We're two friends that talk about our lifelong love of comics. So welcome.
What else is there about life? I mean,
Comics and coffee.
yeah, I guess I can go with that.
But for you, I think it's comics, coffee, and beer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, Clay, how would we start off? What have you been reading this week?
I'm excited. I've been reading some independent books. I'm a big Marvel zombie, and I've picked up this book that I'm only halfway through and I love. It's called Fetch: How a Bad Dog Brought Me Home. It is an indie book that looks very indie, feels very indie, but I love it more than a lot of the indie books that are just kind of sad and depressing. I'm halfway through. It's about a girl and her dog. What else do you need? I love it. I love the artwork. I love the story. I have a dog that's like that, that's just bad, that has special rules. If anyone's been to my house, they know I have a pit bull mix named Luna, who is special. She likes to jump and lick, and last week she killed a cat. The cat jumped in our backyard, and Shelby was unfortunate enough to discover this. It was in our watermelon patch where we're growing stuff, and Luna and Digby just both went insane.
Digby did this also? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm also reading. I just finished the first volume of Paper Girls.
What do you think?
I like it. I can't say I don't love it. It's just a lot happens in the first arc, in the first volume, to kind of set everything up. So it seems to not really get there till volume 2. With so much love for it, I'm going to pick up volume 2 just based on audience, people I trust, people who tell me it's worth sticking with. I probably would pick up the second volume. What are you reading?
A couple different things. I think I told you, I have always gone back and forth between being a Marvel and DC fanboy, but more recently I've really kind of gone back to my DC love.
Yeah.
Started reading the original Birds of Prey last night, and I actually got to say, it's before anybody who's ever read Birds of Prey know that one of the top, I think, writers for the series was Devin Grace, and I think she still writes it.
Is she? I knew she did that book for a while and then just kind of disappeared.
Well, I know she kept on it a little bit into the New 52, but she may not be on it anymore. But still, this is before that, but still, it's a great series. It's Oracle when she's really kind of starting out as Oracle with Black Canary, and the one thing I didn't realize is Black Canary did not know Oracle was Barbara Gordon for the longest time. She kept that identity separate from hers. So as Black Canary would say, it's like she's my best friend, but I don't know who the hell she is. So, and then the other fun part I think I told you was there was a small budding romance interest between Ted Kord and Barbara Gordon. So anybody, the Blue Beetle and Oracle.
We have a love for Blue Beetle, the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, that knows no bounds. We're probably the only people who are really shooting for him to show up on Arrow.
Oh, that would be so awesome. Or even and I know they kept talking about doing a booster series, but give me a Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, or just a plain Blue Beetle series. I would love that. I think it could fit so well into the Flareverse.
Yeah, I mean, to me, team up shows like that are always like Psych and Scrubs, just great fun. If you have the best writers on it, you get comedy, you get drama, you get action. I would really love to see that. I do have one other thing I want to bring up, and I sent some images to Zach to post for this. I'm reading the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Jerry Duggan's writing it, and the art has not been the most stable in it, but it's very close to the guy who starts the book, Aaron Kuder, I believe is his name, Kuder. Anyhow, I'm seeing some incredible covers. Like this guy's really doing covers like we haven't seen in a long time.
I've always seen that. There are times I'll be looking at comics, whether it's at half price or normal comic shops, and this one issue has like the most gorgeous cover. Then you open it up and it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they just don't hire enough for the actual book artist, and that's what I think that kind of takes away because if I'm picking up I mean, okay, and we always go back to this, but I got to go right here. It's Starman with the Tony Harris art. The covers were just as gorgeous as the art inside. That didn't take anything. I mean, granted, he left after like issue 44, 45, and it was another artist, which I still liked.
Yeah.
But at least you know what you were getting.
Oh, and those omnibus covers that wrapped around.
Those are gorgeous too.
Just the book is magic.
But a lot of these books, you knew what you were getting. Even another series I've been rereading is the Grant Morrison Justice League. With those covers, you got the art that was on the cover. It wasn't changed, and that's why I hate when they do that. Like they're going to be special cover by, but the art inside is going to be kind of.
I have two exceptions. I will always buy Scotty Young covers. I love his art.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Right. But when you look for certain artists, like you want to see the art inside. I know too that I'm never going to get. I'm not going to get a J. Scott Campbell interior. I know very rarely I'm going to get. I just lost his name. Scotty Young. Scotty Young's doing what's his book? I Hate Fairyland. That's a regular read for my girlfriend.
I actually picked up I Hate Fairyland on Free Comic Book Day, and it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Just because getting to see him take on everything from Image, that was pretty brilliant.
That's what's so fun about his books, man. Like, he just has this knack for just throwing stuff on the page looking amazing. Anything else you reading?
Yeah, actually, one of the one I found this week, and I did not know it was out there. Growing up, I've always been a huge Transformers nut, and I found out that IDW had released from 2012 to 2014 called Transformers Transformers Regeneration 1, which basically was them adding it's set 21 years from the end of the last issue, but it's basically 20 extra issues to the Marvel run of Transformers. And it's I can't remember the guy's name, the artist, but he did the last 10 issues of the run. Awesome art, awesome storytelling. But it was just one of these, like, anybody who grew up reading the Marvel's continuity of Transformers, this takes it with 20 extra issues, and it's just really some trippy kind of stuff.
How much are we talking?
I see. So there are 4 books total.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, 20 issues. I think it's like it's probably like 5 issues per book. So, and each book's like $14.99. So
worth it.
I picked up volume 2 because I didn't have volume 1, but I'm reading it and I'm like, this is awesome. It's the same stuff I read as a kid.
Is it something you'd buy digitally, or do you like the collected version?
No. Not digitally. I would buy the physical format of it.
You like that?
Maybe eventually down the road, I'll eventually become that person that reads it on my iPad or something. But I still like having that physical. I mean, and eventually I'll probably get rid of all my single issues, but I like having that physical format of the trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
And that was something I struggled with this past week. Was there was a trade paperback I was still missing from my Starman collection, but I saw they have the new trade paperbacks of the omnibuses out, and I was going, no. There's something I like about holding that smaller version. I mean, the omnibuses are gorgeous, and I love them, but there's something about having that smaller collected issues where it's just a select few and you go, here, try this. It's not so much to have to go through. If you want somebody to give a Starman or something like, or if you get Starman, just something smaller. Say, hey, if you're not sure about this, check this out. If you like it, I can let you borrow some in-house.
I think Starman's the book that we relate on because I own single issues.
Same here.
I own trades. I own the omnibuses. I own everything.
When it came out back in '99, I bought the wristwatch for it.
I have the Starman statue that they made.
That's the one thing I wish I'd picked up but never did.
Yeah, and the one thing that broke on it was his cosmic rod. Oh. That's not as dirty as it's.
What?
Okay, we have a kid in the audience, so let's keep it.
Hey,
clean.
you went there.
I know. What else are you reading?
That's kind of it right now. Those are the 2 books. I'll have more, but next week. But like I said, I'm more back into reading a lot of the old DC stuff right now. Kind of reading, rereading stuff I'd already loved and stuff I had never read. Like I said, I'd never touched the Birds of Prey, but I'm also going back and rereading some of the JSA stuff that I hadn't touched yet.
Are you reading Metal?
Okay. Oh no, I did skim through the first issue, and I'm still not totally sure about it. All I know is I caught a reference. This is supposed to be like the Rebirth universe, and yet in the panels, You have, I think that the Flash mentioned Aquaman. You know, you're gonna end up having to give him your hook hand, and I'm like going, wait, what? He never had the hook hand in the new Rebirth or even in the New 52 universe. This is like, so it's some. I'm not sure exactly where we are in that whole continuity.
Continuity. Sorry. The biggest problem in comics is continuity.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that came out this week in the news was there is a story about a standalone Joker movie with Todd Phillips directing, Scorsese producing, and there's just huge talk for Leonardo DiCaprio to play Mr. J.
But I could see that in some ways he can do the same facial features that Jack Nicholson can do. Like you almost think like he was Jack Nicholson's son in some form or fashion, or at least related, because he's got those same features I think he could pull off that Nicholson did in the Burton's film.
Okay, then let me ask you this: is it important to have a look to be the Joker?
I think so to an extent, because
Okay.
I'll be straight up honest. I don't think he was horrible, but if you're going to ask me where do I rate the Jokers, Leto's Joker's at the bottom of the list.
So if you take Jack Nicholson, if you even go back to Cesar Romero, could you even just put a guy in makeup if he's a good enough actor?
And that's the thing I always come back to. You talk about Romero, and he's the only person I can let go. The fact he still had his damn mustache on,
Still
with
wore
the
the
white
makeup,
paint.
yeah.
I know, but I can let that go because I think he pulled off, at least at the time, what the Joker was supposed to embody. That crazy, always laughing at something.
Well, if it fit into camp.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you weren't going to see the Joker actually kill someone.
No, but even after Neil Adams came on, he made the Joker and Batman a little bit darker and grittier.
Yeah.
I still think that as darker as it got, the Joker still embodied the Romero Joker. It wasn't until I think, and I liked Nicholson's, but I think it wasn't until Hamill pulled off the Joker in the Batman animated series that you saw what the Joker was totally supposed to be.
Okay, now we have a guest on today, and I want to pitch a couple of questions to him. This is EJ. This is my little brother. He's only, I think, been exposed to a lot of comics through me and through the films. But what do you do? What
My dad, he gave me a lot of comics.
he
When I was a
did?
kid.
So, what's been your exposure to the Joker? What do you know? What is your Joker? What is the best version of the Joker you've seen, and what do you like?
I mean, when I've watched one of the Batman movies, I really thought Heath Ledger was a good Joker because
Yeah.
he put like a really like dark, terrifying vibe into like his character. But to like other Jokers, he was just like a playful guy who just met. Batman just found him annoying and kind of sinister.
Yeah.
But Heath Ledger's Joker was like actually like crazy and really, really scary.
EJ, get a little more up on that mic if you would, please.
Oh,
So-
is this better? All right.
So have you ever seen the Batman TV show with Adam West and the Cesar Romero Batman? Kind of a campy, silly version. Have
The
you ever seen
animated
that?
one?
No, not the animated. There was
The
a live
60s
action.
animated.
Adam
the
Westbrook
60s
Ward.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where he was running around with the giant bomb?
Yes.
Oh, I've seen clips of that.
Okay, so you know Batman 66 through memes.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm like I'm 14.
Oh no, not even saying you've never seen.
I'm
any-
like
not even-
12.
I only,
It's like 14.
I only ask this because they have re-aired that show so many times, whether it be on YouTube or TV, and you've never seen an actual episode of the '66 Batman.
I've never seen the episode, but I've seen a lot
Wow,
of funny
okay.
videos on it.
No, that's fine. I'm just that's a rarity.
And that's kind of why I had EJ on. I want to get the perspective of a kid who's
Well, it's not rare for them. It's rare for us
Yeah.
because we grew up with this stuff.
No,
we,
but-
we couldn't get away from the reruns, man.
No, but I'm saying, but that's one of those pop culture things. Like it's like if you don't know if somebody said I don't know who Pee Wee Herman is, I'd be really surprised. So not having ever seen like just an episode of Batman in '66, that's why I'm a little surprised.
Yes, you'd be surprised because that's your fandom, man.
you watch probably more TV than I do.
And the thing is that they don't have EJ. Not to be offensive, but you don't have the reruns that we did. Everything you're getting introduced to is through internet memes.
Yeah,
true.
He gets a lot of new stuff. He has more channels than we've ever had.
That's true.
And he's
That's
got
true.
more versions of Batman than we've ever had.
212
Kids these
channels and
days-
still nothing on except Batman 66 and that reruns of MASH.
It's just like kids these days. We just use a lot of YouTube to watch videos.
That's my point.
Exactly.
With YouTube
we don't
itself,
watch TV a lot.
I'm rewatching episodes of He-Man and Justice League, the animated series on YouTube. It's like I don't need Netflix or half the time, any of these other streaming services.
I mean, if we're to watch TV, it's either to watch like for any of the people who like Dragon Ball Z. That's what I watch. I
Okay.
watch it at night. But
Are you watching Super?
yes, I'm watching. Super.
Okay. All right. I have a kindred
so
spirit
good.
here. That's awesome.
Just want to make sure he's watching the right shows.
And then I mean, like if I'm to watch TV, I'm usually gonna watch like Dragon Ball Super, Attack on Titan, but they
you go.
didn't. They stopped that for some reason.
I thought they were doing the new season now.
Oh, they
In
started.
Japan,
the
they're doing the new season.
Yeah, but
okay,
they didn't air it in here.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle's knee deep in Japan's news. So
I know anime too.
Okay, so which iteration of Dragon Ball are you watching?
What do you mean by generation?
Iteration, Dragon Ball Z,
Dragon Ball
GT,
Kai.
Dragon Ball Kai.
I watched Dragon Ball.
Super Dragon
Because
Ball.
Kai is Z, just reformatted down into his lesser episodes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Z, the final chapters, I watched that a little bit when like he got another son, and when Gohan like grew up a little
Yeah,
bit.
Goten.
Yeah, Goten. And then
I know this stuff.
I love kid. I love he's
So-
correcting the kid on the cartoon.
So, have you ever seen the original Dragon Ball?
when Goku was a kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Dude, you're missing out.
I kind
so
of want
much.
to because I heard that like he was like he had a tail.
Oh, yeah.
I knew he had a tail.
Well, he's a Saiyan. That's the whole thing. Is the Saiyans have they're aliens who can change into giant apes when they look at like a full moon.
Yes, but I never seen like an episode where either Gohan, Goku, or like any of the Saiyans turn into a. I've heard that Vegeta turned into an ape.
Yeah.
but I've never like seen it.
Here's a little bit
An
of trivia
episode.
for you. The original Dragon Ball is based on the Chinese lore of the Monkey King, whereas Dragon Ball Z is actually based on Superman. Because Goku, they thought he was the last Saiyan and the last Kryptonian. And you think about it, with Superman, Kryptonians kept popping out of the woodwork. You know, Zod, Kandor, then Vegeta and all them show up. So yeah, no, Toriyama actually said he based Dragon Ball Z more on the lore of Superman than the Monkey King.
Nice segue, sir.
They did a if you guys watch a death battle, they did a death battle on Superman
versus
and
Goku.
Goku.
Yeah, I saw it. And Superman
was-
still wins both times. They did 2 of them.
That made no sense though. Well, it kind of did make sense, but Goku, he can turn into an ape.
Well, no, he can't. He's not the tail anymore.
Oh, he lost his tail.
Oh, he lost it. Yeah, so you still have a lot of catching up to do.
Spoiler
happened-
alert.
This happened.
I probably might not watch it. I probably watch it on YouTube.
He doesn't have the tail. He's out. That's just it.
See, I'm so fascinated that YouTube is like TV because you can really just pick what you want all the time, and I guess I just don't think about that all the time. Like when Walter Becker died, I went looking for some documentaries on Steely Dan, and man, there's like just hardly anything. I mean, there's a couple interviews and a real bad VH1 thing, but just finding old stuff for us old people, it's not fun. Okay, so I want to pull it back to the Joker and get Kyle. Okay, so he's familiar with the Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Joker?
It comes right back down to the whole stuff. I mean, it's not live action, but Hamill.
Yeah,
Hamill's the Joker. I mean, I'm always that's always going to be my Batman. And this is going to be a stickler just for me. But that was one thing. There was an episode of The Big Bang Theory where they were bringing Adam West over to Sheldon's birthday party.
Yeah.
And they brought every Batman. They even brought the Lego Batman. They didn't mention the animated series. I'm like, how do you mention Lego and not mention animated series? Screw you guys.
Just the big screen, man. The big screen.
He's been on the big screen. Mask of Phantasm.
Oh, that's right.
No, don't give me this. No.
Okay, I know. I'm old and I forget. Okay, so what do you think about a standalone non-DCCU Joker story with these people involved?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Again, like we've had the talk, is they're doing the standalone Doctor Doom film. And I think if you're not going to add in all the superhero lineage, you're just dealing with the character of the Joker becoming that character, I think you do really well. But you're not having, like I said, with Doom, you're not going to be dealing with the FF and them, you know, we've had 3 films and they've all been crap. I mean,
Yeah.
the 2 first ones were better than the last one, but still, it's just, they've all been crappy films. And
Still love the Corman one.
no, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most true form of Doom they've made. But, you know, he needs to be this guy. He's this ruler of this European country. You know, he thinks he's really smart. His face gets disfigured. It's all this lineage. I think that if you build up that character, especially with the Joker, we don't really know who the Joker is. You know, in comic book lore, you know, they said he's Jack Napier here. They've said he's this here. We don't actually know what the actual origin for the Joker is. So I think seeing that would be kind of cool.
Have you read the Brian Azzarello standalone Joker book?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I'm going to say that is worth reading. I hope it's the source material. It's really crime story from the perspective of the criminal. We've all enjoyed the Sopranos. Can we do it in that format? Can we do it in a movie? Can we Have a supervillain who is just a criminal, and it doesn't have to be tied into anything. And that's what I love. I think by seeing all these different versions of the Joker that we've all grown up with, except for EJ, that we've all seen, we like to compare and contrast, and we like the different aspects. I don't think having a standalone film like this is going to hurt anything.
No.
I think what it does hurt is it hurts places like Marvel. Marvel, by not having standalone stuff, can't tell some of their best stories. If you look at what they're doing, all Marvel seems to do, all the X-Men, all the 20th Century Fox seems to do is like, well, what's in the books that we can use, and let's just take everything. And they do. And you can see great standalone. I mean, you don't need so much history to enjoy Logan. You know Logan for what it is.
Well, and they've even announced Logan was sort of tied, but wasn't tied to the X universe. It was like its own separate thing, and that's why I think it works out so well about it, is because you didn't have like this. It wasn't. It was a comic book film, but it wasn't a superhero film,
Right.
and that's what I think really, because it's Wolverine on his last leg. You know, it's like what should have been keeping him alive is now killing him,
And I hope Marvel discovers that they can do stuff like that. They can have standalone stuff. I was trying to think of some of the stories by having so much continuity in Marvel films that what we lose. Because like with Logan, Old Man Logan's still a great book because there's no continuity or tied to the Marvel films. They didn't want to do that, but that made that
now they tied to the 616 universe because he's there.
Yeah. Anyhow, before we get too deep in that, one of the books that I have always loved has been Matt Fraction, David Aja's Hawkeye, and I would love to see a Netflix series with that. So here's your problem with continuity: Hawkeye is married with kids in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We could never see this. If they pitched me an Edgar Wright Hawkeye series, hold on.
Okay, no. I'm
You're
on
already
board.
in? You're
I'm
already
on
in?
board. That could be fun. Simon Pegg as Hawkeye.
You had
I have two people. I have two people as Hawkeye. Unless you guys have
go for it.
better picks, I'm going Joe McHale. A lot of people hate on Joe McHale, but I think Joe McHale has the look and the age. And I'm a huge fan of Community, and I would love to see young Hawkeye played by Allison Brie. Hold on, I'm not getting a positive reaction.
No, you're
from
getting a. I'm just like I don't think my mind can wrap around the concept of that. Because I'd be like, again,
No.
here's my wallet. No, I'm in.
I can't get around Alison Brie. I can't.
No?
I just can't.
If it's Edgar Wright, I could.
Okay.
Because I think he's the guy who huh?
Who? Well, that's my second pitch. My
Eh.
second pitch is Bradley Cooper as Hawkeye and Aubrey Plaza as Kate.
I don't know. I don't know Bradley Cooper. No.
I think Bradley Cooper pulls off dramatic. He pulls off funny. I mean,
He's got more of the personality of, if you're going by comic book Hawkeye, than Joe McHale. I think Joe McHale could play a fun Hawkeye done by Edgar Wright, but I almost think...
I think Edgar Wright makes him better.
Yeah.
But we also, everyone wants to, kind of pigeonhole him as like a host. But you need to look at some of the small roles he's done.
Wait, are we talking about Edgar Wright or Joe McHale?
I'm sorry, Joel McHale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Edgar Wright, I believe in him. After Baby Driver, one of my top five.
No,
He's
that's
one of my top five
I
directors.
think he's a great... And don't get me wrong, I get it. I love Ant-Man, but I still would have loved to have seen what Edgar Wright was going to bring to the table with Ant-Man.
That makes me sad.
I know.
Like I still love Ant-Man. I rewatch it a lot.
There were... Back when they were first announced, I want to say Marvel Wave 3, there were two movies that I was really excited about because the directors were going to be the no-namers. Only people who knew like the underground kind of stuff. And that was James Gunn for doing Guardians
Yeah.
and Edgar Wright doing Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And then when James Gunn came out, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then Edgar Wright ended up leaving Ant-Man. I was like really worried about it because they said the director is going to be the director of what, Hot Tub Time Machine? But no, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The movie was actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, it is great.
Yeah, but it's one of the things I would have liked to have seen what he was. If they've done it with Kevin Smith. He's supposed to like done a couple different movies, but they fell through. But he ends up giving the script to comic book format.
Yeah.
If he still has the script, I'd like to see what that script would have been like, maybe in comic book format.
Yeah, I do love that. So one other thing that's been going on is the Inhumans, and we're going to talk about it on this show. We're going to talk about it on just a sec. But I pulled up a timeline of the history of this because the Marvel Inhumans was a deal with IMAX. IMAX premiered the first 2 episodes in theaters, made quite a bit of money, made a couple million.
Of course.
So they made money off a TV show, so I feel like that's a win. but the pictures I saw from theaters were empty. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 0%.
I think I read it because I was trying to do because I wanted to go, time just didn't allow. But when I started looking stuff up, I think I saw a tweet from somebody who goes, "Yeah, I was one of 40 people in the theater."
Oh,
I was just like, "Damn."
That's so sad. I mean, Inhumans for me as a book has not been anything I've been interested in.
I like the concept, but it's never been like I liked some of the characters here on. But again, they've never, in my opinion, had a very strong creative team.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I know this is one of your favorite books, but again, for me,
Oh, no. I've never been a fan.
I'm going to relate to another character that's always been
okay.
kind of like that. Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah.
I love the character Moon Knight, but every time there's a comic book series, the creative team never grabs me. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's not a good creative team, because I know you love Moon Knight.
Okay, so let me throw this back to EJ. EJ, if you've got a television series in a theater, I mean, you're going to go see a television show. Are you prone to go see it?
Like a TV show in the movies.
Yeah.
No, because I could watch the same show on TV.
But what if you have to wait 6 weeks for it to actually air on TV, but you can watch the first episode right there that day?
I mean, there are always people who actually I would go.
Why?
Because if it's a show that I really want to see and it starts in 6 weeks, but I can just pay like $15 or $20 to go see that show in the movies, then I would go. But I would try to see if there's any other way I can see if I can see the show without going to the movies first. Because if I find out that there's another way to see the show without going to the movies and paying $20 or $15, then I can just do that.
I get it. And I know there's still people younger than me who still enjoy it, but there's the old mentality of me that I love to see films still on the big screen. Don't get me wrong, I know there's the whole thing of using like on-demand stuff like that, but I still like watching certain films on that big screen.
What TV shows have y'all seen in the theater? Y'all gone to a theater
No.
for any special screenings?
The one time I wanted to go was going to be the Best of Both Worlds with Star Trek: The Next Generation. It was the Borg and Locutus episode, but never got around to doing it. Other than that, I've never seen any of the TV shows on the big screen.
I went to go see Walking Dead Season 2 closeout.
Oh, okay.
And seeing the whole thing play out.
Oh,
with
that would have
Shane
been cool.
dying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That seeing it in the theater when Walking Dead was at its peak popularity, seeing it with a room full of 2 full rooms of fans dressed up as zombies, cosplay, comic book shops actually into doing what it is that they were doing, just basically getting behind it and actually really getting behind the show. It was amazing and a great experience to see in a theater at the time.
So Atmosphere was like made the experience 10 times better.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there were more than 40 people in the theater.
Oh God!
I wanna see-
It was at Mockingbird Station,
Angelica.
and there were 2 full theaters for the show.
Not a lot of Black Bolt
yeah.
cosplay, so
Shelby's right. They also did a lot of the Doctor Who episodes that way too.
I've seen Doctor Who. I went with Devin and saw that, and that was pretty. That was because his.
I kind of wish I had done that.
Yeah, his love of Doctor Who. When you go see something with like a true fan, it's such a special experience.
I've been that person. I've been around people that's been for them, and it's just, and they're just kind of like I saw Kyle's face, and you're like I've had like you guys have said the same thing. Like the facial features I make while watching certain things, you're just like they were taking pictures of me. Like, hold on.
Kyle turns into a 10-year-old with a beard. The things I've seen.
You mean he isn't one?
I saw the last episode of Lost, which is pretty great. I saw Doctor Who. One other thing that was in the IMAX story was that they had filmed some. God, I'm having such a slow day because it's early. Game of Thrones in the theater. They aired and made about as much money as. Having a brain meltdown.
Like they made on television? Or?
That they made compared to or. Hold on. Let me walk away for a second. Okay, so what the Inhumans made was a little less than what Game of Thrones made by airing a show on an IMAX screen. So
So they didn't really do that bad, I guess.
Didn't do that
If they're
bad.
comparing to Game of Thrones.
But it was also a rerun. It was something that had already been aired, so anyone who was going to see it, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the comics, but I'll tell you right now that the team that is doing an Inhumans book, I'm very interested in. I bought the first issue. I haven't read it, but we've got Phil Noto and Christopher Priest doing Inhumans Once and Future King. Now, if you don't know who Phil Noto is, Google that and look at some of those images. He is an amazing artist. I love his work. Seeing him do Inhumans makes me want to buy it. Seeing Christopher Priest's name on it makes me want to read it.
What's his name?
Christopher Priest.
Like Phil what?
Phil Noto. Noto. I actually have someone Googling. I didn't think when I said things into a microphone, people did them, but it works.
Oh, it works a lot.
So he's done
That's
some
my
of the Star-
job. Thanks.
No, this guy's art's not that bad.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love his work.
I don't know if I'm going to read a
Ooh.
Humans book like this, but
Yeah, and it may be one I have to just wait on. I bought the first book. I got a variant cover. Yes, Marvel, those work. You made me buy a book.
okay, no, I've got a complaint against Marvel, but I'll come back to that a little bit later.
Okay. All right, we're reaching the halfway mark here.
He drew
so-
Batgirl.
Yeah, he's drawn a lot of Batgirl, a lot of DC. I mean, his
A current Batgirl? I may have actually seen some of those issues.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like I
okay.
say, check out Phil Noto, unbelievable art. Christopher Priest, who wrote the definitive Black Panther for me. They're both doing Inhumans right now, so it's worth checking out. One other thing I want to point as maybe the downfall of what the Inhumans are is the time frame that they did everything in, because they just kind of crammed everything in at
Well,
the last minute.
Given the fact that originally the Inhumans was supposed to be a movie in Phase 3, wasn't it?
Well, it was announced in late 2014 and had a target release date of July 12th, 2019. Then within and so that was announced in late 2014. By April of 2016, they didn't have a release date anymore, so that was gone. So it was just kind of in limbo. A few months later, November 2016, they announced a TV show, and then this past week they premiered the Inhumans in the IMAX theater.
I have a theory about this, and I wonder, but there's that whole thing that, even though most of Marvel television is still set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel television and the Marvel films don't really talk to each other.
Right. They just reference the
no,
incident.
But the fact that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. threw the Inhumans into their Season 3, I wonder if that maybe threw a wrench into Marvel Films' plans where they had to go, okay, we got to change something up here.
Well, you know what I think about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not a very good show.
See, that's where we'd have the debate. I actually still like the show. I thought last season was phenomenal.
They had people who became Inhumans that were great actors that they've lost. Ruth Negga's over at Preacher now, doing an unbelievable job. Season 2 of Preacher, if you're not watching, catch up. It is
Not to mention-
fantastic.
I got to call you out on this
Oh.
because you were so opposed to Ruth as
I was.
a-
My mic's gone.
Hello?
you're still coming through. We're still coming through, but
Test, test,
Okay.
test.
It sounds dead.
I'm not hearing myself.
you're fine. You're fine. Keep talking.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit it. That first season, I didn't like her accent. I didn't like Jesse's accent. I didn't like the way the story was being told. I really hated Preacher 1, and I was willing to just bail and not give it a chance. But, man, Hair Star has really brought us back to the story and given us some great Season 2 stuff.
It's really been great, and you're right. Ruth Negga has been amazing as Tulip. You've got to give her that.
So then that makes me think, why did they not figure out on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. what to do with her? So they just turn her into this creature with makeup on.
Well, yeah, but I don't think she was ever meant to be like the long casting kind of character. I mean, she was in there for almost like a season and a half.
If you have a great actor, don't you want to keep him on?
It depends if that's where the story goes.
I mean, look at Chris Pratt on Parks and Rec. He was signed up for 6 episodes in season 1, and they were like, "He's great."
Well, no, the
Let's
same
keep-
thing could be said for Felicity on Arrow. She was
Oh.
originally, but my thing is like, look at Josh.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's go back to Felicity for a second because we may have words. So
well, now wait. You have to think that these guys get other. You have to think that these guys get other opportunities because I mean, you have to take
Oh,
a look.
yeah.
Shaniqua Martin Green, who went from Walking Dead and a huge role on Walking Dead to being Captain on Star Trek Discovery.
would you say huge role though?
Totally.
What was her story arc?
She came in. She came in as one of the refugees, as Tyrese's brother, and then she became a very emotional center of the show, because again, with Walking Dead, you have an emotional center that it always goes to, and then and when we got to basically her breaking down and having issues with the men in her life, her losing Abraham,
Oh, yeah.
and basically just giving up her entire life. She was the emotional core of the show for a good long time.
You forgot about Bob. What about Bob? She forgot about.
But I mean, that's why I
was-
said the men in her life: Bob, Abraham,
Yeah,
Tyrese. Just
yeah, you-
all, she became the emotional core of the show. You know, once we lost Glenn, once we lost Dale and things like that. There's always a rotating emotional core. She became that, and in her last season before she went off to go do Star Trek, that was it, man. She had a huge
all right.
story arc.
I see that. I see that because before I was kind of like, yeah, she's a character on the show, but she doesn't have really any story. She just suffers. Like that's what I seem to see her role as is you're just going to be sad, you're going to lose these people, and you're going to be alone.
I'm going to try this
The
back.
emotional core always suffers.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this right back around. Who started Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Whedon. If you're going to talk about any series where you can have a main actor and you can love them, they don't
No,
last a season and a half. It's Josh Whedon stuff.
No. Joss Whedon didn't start Agents of
He
S.H.I.E.L.D.
but he directed the first episode.
because he was very bothered by bringing Phil back because he basically by bringing Phil back undoes what he did in the Avengers.
All right. But my point though is like in I'm going to go right back in '97. Buffy. One of my favorite characters was Oz. Seth Green's character.
Oh,
love
yeah,
that
I love
character.
Oz.
And they write him out, and like a third of the way through season 4, it's like, what was the freaking point? And then you realize Whedon doesn't give a care who you like on that show. He's going to take him out no matter what. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like something. It's like why if you have a character that's like an awesome character, aren't you going to keep him in for longer? It's like that's TV.
Yeah. R.I.P. Tara. I miss Tara from Buffy.
My point. It's like
Still mourning characters 20 years later.
I know.
That's what we do in fandom. Okay, so I want to have an experiment here. I want to play the last Inhumans trailer. We're going to be able to do that, Zach, or can I pull it up on my iPad?
Give me a second.
All right. I want to play this trailer for the YouTube generation over here in the corner and see if he watches that and if that is something that he would be interested in.
Hold on. You've never seen the trailer yet, have you?
No.
Okay.
Do you know who the Inhumans are?
I've heard of them, but I don't know.
Okay, this is a perfect situation because this is the target audience they want. We want to have a show that kids love. They'll go out and pick up our books. I assume that that's what Marvel's plan is, but based on the way their books are, not so much.
And I think that's my problem with it. Just even the trailer. It's like I thought they would make the characters look more like the characters.
If you give me a good story, I don't care.
I do to an extent. But if you're going to have certain characters in whether it's a film or a TV series, you got to keep some kind of semblance. And
All right, go ahead and bring EJ over my way just because I have to watch it on my screen.
All right, so we're going to air the. I think this is it. The link that I gave you. It was the very last one.
It's a 1 minute trailer for War for Their World. So.
Yeah, and in what I like about this one, Lockjaw. That's pretty much the only thing I like about Inhumans.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'll leave your mics up, but yeah, here you go.
Okay, here we go.
I would like Triton to look a little more like how he does in the comics.
Yeah. All right, so that is the latest trailer of the Inhumans, and let's get EJ coming around to the mic because I want to see. So based on this commercial, this trailer, this footage, it's a Marvel thing. What do you think when you watch it? Is it something you'd want to watch? What interests you and what doesn't? Okay.
I would.
Getting his mic doesn't sound on. Okay. All right.
I would watch it, but
Okay. More Lockjaw Marvel. More Lockjaw.
Not picking up EJ.
Oh, okay.
EJ.
Boom.
Yeah, there you are. Wow.
Okay.
Well, I would watch it because I'm really intrigued with like the guy and the dog,
Okay.
and most of the characters seem like really cool. Like
Yeah.
the lady with the hair, she looks really.
Okay. So Medusa, you kind of dig that.
So
Yeah.
here's where I think it's going to go. If you've been a huge Inhumans fan in the comic books, you're probably going to be fighting to try to get their love to watch the series. If you're somebody who doesn't know who the characters are, you probably got them right off the bat.
Yeah.
But that's where I think, like you just said, because you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And that's where I think people are going to be like, oh, it's Marvel. Oh, I love all the films. I love all the stuff. So now let me go see who these new characters are, and they're probably going to come in with a fresh mind. Whereas us, we know for the last 40-something years of who these characters have been, what they've done, all the cartoons they made appearances in. It's like, well, that's not even how they should be. So we're going to have more, I think, the fanboys, and I'm right up there guilty with that. It's like we're probably going to have more of a higher level that we're going to hold what the TV series should probably be at.
Yeah. I'm just not. For me, Black Bolt is the big character, and for what Black Bolt does, so he's a main character in the story. What kind of feel did you get for him, AJ? He's the guy dressed all in black with the dog.
Isn't wait? That's Black Bolt.
That's
Yeah.
Black Bolt.
Isn't he the one who screams?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you know a little bit. You know
Okay.
that Black Bolt, his voice can level a city.
Yeah, because of Worldbreaker Hulk. I've read it. I've heard a bit of that.
Okay, all right. So we got some exposure to.
you make me
to the-
proud. You make me proud.
So, don't you want to see him level a city?
Something.
I almost feel like in the pilot that he should level a city so that we go, okay, we've gotten that out of the way. Let's go. Let's
It's
have some
like-
story.
It's like the main thing I'm looking for, like a really powerful superhero, is to like prove that he is like extremely powerful. Like, if anybody's seen the original Incredible Hulk, where like
You talking about Eric Bana, Incredible Hulk?
yes, well no wait,
Bill Bixby? I just
It's when
wanted to
it-
see the confusion.
If
on
he's
his
seen
face.
Bill Bixby, I'm going to be impressed.
it's the one where he was taking on the Abomination.
That's okay. No,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
He was destroying everything, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, well.
Well, that's what he is. He's a force of nature.
Yes, but like I thought that Hulk was just this super strong guy who can just like beat anybody up. But he surprised me when I was watching, because I like watched it when I was like really little, like I think it was like 8 or 7, and I saw him turn cars into punching bags. I'm just like, whoa, he's really powerful.
If he reads any lineage of the Hulk, he needs to read Peter David, where Banner
Yeah.
takes on, where he gets the, it's all both Hulks and Banner all combined. I think he'd have some fun with that.
Oh, that
series.
story. Okay, I was gonna say there's so much great Peter David.
When he becomes the smart Green Hulk.
okay, yeah, and he can talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And then I
great.
also seen the shows of the where it had the Hulk, the Red Hulk, She-Hulk. It was
Adams of Smash.
Agents
Or
of
Agents of
Smash.
Smash, which
Yes.
I loved, but everybody else gives me shit about it. Sorry.
I admit it was good.
Thank you. And plus, the art was a little bit based on Ed McGuinness.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
his art. So
Oh,
that
love
I mean that
Ed McGuinness
yeah,
art.
I love that series.
Because,
A Bomb, Red Hulk,
Red Hulk was
She
the
Hulk,
gun
and then
specialist.
Scar.
Scar, I really didn't like Scar. Like
Oh,
my
really?
favorite character was
Well, you know who Scar's supposed to be, right?
not really. That's
He's a Hulk's son.
that's
He's supposed to be. They didn't make him the son in the
Yeah.
TV, but he's actually in the comic books. He's actually the Hulk's son.
yeah.
oh.
Look at the hamster wheel
yeah.
turning.
He's going. Wait a minute. How does that work in continuity?
Didn't know that. But like I think my favorite character was A-Bomb, because like
Oh, yeah.
his personality was just like,
I'm not gonna lie. I liked A Bomb in the comic books too. So
yeah, he was really good.
so if Inhumans premieres, are you going to watch it?
In the movie theaters, right?
No, it's already done that.
It's already done that. It's going to be on TV now.
Oh.
the 29th, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
you would
would
watch
watch
it.
it, 'cause
Okay.
I-
Have you ever watched Agents of Shield?
No.
Okay, well, it's taken. It's going to be for 8 episodes. It's going to take the Agents of Shield time slot for this rest of this year, and then Agents of Shield will start up in that time slot in 2018.
so I have to watch Agents of
No,
Shield.
no. Agents of Shield won't be starting until January. Inhumans is going to be taking what the time slot in, Agents of Shield would have had
Yeah,
this
but
year.
hold on, EJ. Do you watch TV live at all?
like live shows.
Yeah. Do you like turn on TV and go, oh well, it's 7 o'clock. I need to watch this. This comes on. Or
I
do you
don't.
watch everything on Hulu and after?
Oh
the
no,
fact?
I
Okay.
just use YouTube.
Okay. That's what I was just curious to see if he had like a programming schedule.
Well, I watch all my CW stuff off of the CW site.
Okay.
I never watch the actual television. So.
I mean, YouTube, they have this thing where you can turn on notifications for each channel, and you can see like when they're doing, like, for example, like I think an hour ago, one of a YouTuber was doing a live stream, and like it can tell you if he's doing a live stream, and I can click it, and it like sets me straight into the stream, and like I can talk to everybody who's watching it.
Yeah.
chat rooms.
But I don't really watch them because like they usually do the same thing that they do every time.
Yeah. Is there anyone streaming live that's worth watching that's entertaining? Is there anything one that you like? You get an alert and you go, oh, okay, I'll watch that.
If you don't mind yelling, a lot of yelling and a lot of funny funny gameplays, I suggest you watch Dashi
I've heard of
because
that one.
he's really funny. I
Yeah.
mean, like if you don't mind yelling and stuff and like occasional cursing, he's really funny because he plays a lot of Super Mario Maker.
I don't know why this sounds like a Dane Cook pitch. If you don't mind yelling or cursing, it's okay. It's funny.
But like he really is funny, and he plays a lot of Mario Maker.
Yeah.
I think he played Mario Kart 8 for a while.
Oh, jeez. No, I've never streamed myself, but I've been with groups of friends where if you did film us in the way we cursed about like trying to any version of Mario Kart from Super NES up until now, it'd probably be worth some fun watching. But yeah, I get where you're going with this.
And like he did an Uncharted gameplay, and I really enjoyed that because the Uncharted series already is like really good. And I've heard that they're making a new one. I think it's called what was it called?
You're pulling a clay and it's dead air. So, quick, if you could only had an instrument to find that and search for what you were looking for.
Oh no!
Okay.
This is so magical.
If only we had the internet at our hands.
All right.
So
So
only there were a magical box we could ask for answers.
well, we're getting near the end of the show. We got like 13 minutes. I had one other thing. Have you seen Marvel Legacy?
So I have.
We may need to run this trailer for both you and EJ. You got the link over there?
It's called
Give
The
me a second.
Lost
Okay.
Legacy. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that he did that gameplay yet, but he did Uncharted: A Thief's End,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed that. So like, if he doesn't live stream a lot, but he does live stream occasionally.
Yeah.
So like, I watch some of his live streams when he does them, and they're really funny.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, well, I don't watch any of the live stream stuff, but there are a lot of YouTube channels that I watch and I like at Word Television. You know, like
Yeah.
he brought up Death Battle. I love Death Battle, and that's some stuff. And there's another one called Bat in the Sun where they do live action. It debates on who would win in a fight, Casey Jones or what's the comic book character's name? The kid in the blue suit.
Kid in the blue suit.
Had two movies. Not Badass.
Kick ass.
Kick Ass. Thank you.
I thought it was a green suit.
No, maybe yeah, but or they do ones where it was a Wolverine versus Wonder Woman.
They did a really, really good one with Batman versus Darth Vader.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that was-
incredible.
that was
yes. Those are I love watching those.
Isn't Casey Jones the one from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And if you're a wrestling fan, was
Stephen
played
Amell.
by John Morrison.
Nice. All right. All right. So I do have the trailer for Marvel Legacy here.
Okay, let's get. I want to get both of you
Yeah,
to
okay.
take a look at this because this is Marvel's. No, they. I don't know. Is it an event? Is it just a sales thing? I'm not sure. But they're announcing the return of a character because every other character in the Marvel universe is dead. I'm going to go ahead and take the bet that it won't be Uncle Ben. So
All right.
we will take everyone's guess after they watch this.
All right. I'm going to leave the mic up for Kyle's reaction. So
Okay.
there you go.
We're all comic book fans. We all grew up reading amazing stories. This is our chance to take some of the most important storylines and give them new life.
Marvel Legacy spans the entirety of the Marvel Universe. At the dawn of time, and we
I did see something about
the
this.
formation of the
prehistoric
earliest
Avengers.
group of super beings, Avengers of 1 million BC. Marvel Legacy is a sweeping, all-encompassing epic that set up and key off mysteries and secrets and surprises and storylines. It's your one must-buy comic. the seeds that we're planting into the Marvel Legacy one-shot are intended to grow and flourish all the way on into the future. There's stuff that happens here in this singular one-shot that people will still be talking about and referring back to years from now.
Legacy era usher in the return of favorite classic characters, but not at the expense of the new character. Legacy will show you over time questions what roads they're during Legacy will be tallying up all of whatever that number is going to go on the front. Tipping a hat to the legacy of each title. Decades of old stories, the countless stories that have existed.
Marvel Legacy is our attempt to go back to the roots, the bedrock of the storytelling that is the Marvel Universe. Faces back that you haven't seen for a while. You'll see callbacks to classic tales from the past. It basically is a celebration of 50 plus.
Okay. Yeah, I did see something like this. Okay. You even paid for this?
Marvel Legacy also features the surprising, unexpected return of a icon that will make it an absolute must.
Okay, now it's not Uncle Ben. There's nothing special about Uncle Ben that makes me want to read Marvel.
I was kidding.
I know.
And then Peter Parker just gives up and says, "Oh, I guess it really isn't big of a deal. He's back." So now we've seen this thing for the new Marvel pitch. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's an event, it's stories. They keep saying they're not going to be doing any events after Secret Empire, but now
BS. BS. Marvel doesn't know not how to do an event.
I know everything's so
Now,
tied.
maybe it may be 3 months before they do one, but anyway, they're about to do a big one with X-Men. They're about to do the first crossover between X-Men Gold and Blue, which is the
Oh, I mean event book that spans everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the way Secret Empire did. So initial thoughts. What did you like, not like, and then what character do you think is returning?
I like everything. That was a really good trailer.
You like that? It would make you read.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it would make me read a lot. I mean, I like reading, but it would make
I
me
was
read
going to say,
a lot.
do you read?
Well, on the way in, he was talking about seeing it, and I was talking about the book, and I said you really need to read the book because it's fantastic. And I said if you're going to start with Stephen King, start with it and Pet Sematary. Those should scare you well enough. So now, so you would read some of the comics based on just what you saw.
I would read the Prehistoric Avengers because that looked really cool.
That's got my interest.
I never knew
There wasn't up until now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There was. This
Oh.
is brand new. It's okay. So the one thing you got to know about comic books, and this is especially really bad with DC and Marvel, is they love the word retcon. They love to retcon the history of their whole history of their company, of where the characters came from. So basically, they're now saying there's been a prehistoric Avengers that's going to have started the timeline for what everything has come from. Before this, there was no prehistoric Avengers. This is Marvel doing a new sales pitch for the company, and we'll see what happens. So that's in the retcon. Always know in the comic books. That's why we had in DC we had the New 52, and then we had Rebirth. Marvel had Secret Wars, and now had Secret Empire. And everything's been a retcon, so they can change. They can kill a character. They can bring a character back. They can change the history. So retconning, they love doing that. That's how they make new sales for their books.
That was really cool, and especially seeing I like the way Black Panther had his outfit because it was like an actual panther.
The skin, yeah, I got it right
Yes.
here. Yeah.
And then
Okay, so we have the prehistoric Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Thor, Black Panther, Phoenix, Quasar, and Iron Fist.
that Hulk right there.
That might be the Hulk, but the symbol. Oh, I'm sorry, the symbol he had. I don't think it's not Quasar. It's Starbrand. He has that's the Starbrand. I'm sorry, that was the M. I did some research on this.
Starbrand.
and I really like the way Ghost Rider looks. Isn't that Ghost Rider?
Yeah, Ghost Rider, a woolly mammoth, a fiery woolly mammoth. That's just like, okay, this has kind of got my interest.
That's amazing.
Okay, so overall excited, and it
Yeah,
did what it meant to do.
And the great thing, one shot. Not 8 different issues, not 8 different trade paperbacks, not 15,000 issues I got to collect. It's a one shot, so it's a one-time story you can read and be like, okay, if they want to do more with this, I might be on board. If not, I spent my $3 and that's it.
All right. I just want to get everyone's kind of take on
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
especially
my-
since you hadn't seen it. But I wanted to, a non-comics reader, if he saw this, would he want to read it?
Oh, this could be cool.
So, okay, very cool.
And it looks like a little like fear them, because like the Avengers today, they're like meant to be like they're protectors, like just like protect the world. But those Avengers look like they're like ready to just kill. They look like ready to kill, because the Phoenix, she was wasn't she in all of the X-Men movies?
Yes. The Phoenix is okay. So they again, I can explain this off air, and we can talk about it later. But yeah, the Phoenix has been done differently from the X films compared to what the Phoenix is in the comic book. And in there, it was basically Jean Grey unleashing her full mutant potential. In the comic books, it's a cosmic entity that takes over a human body.
Yes, because I read that in when the Phoenix took over Cyclops.
Exactly. Yeah. So you read X-Men
Yeah.
versus Avengers. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good series.
Cool. All right. Well, then it's a lot more positive than I thought. I kind of
looking
thought,
forward to that.
all right, well, that's good. Anytime Kurt Busiek's in there really promoting, I dig that guy. That guy knows. I heard the rumor that he's the only guy known that has read every Marvel comic.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's fantastic. So
All right, guys, we got to go ahead and wrap this up. So.
all right. So
I got one
what do you
thing,
got?
if I can do it real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug.
So I want at the end of every episode, I'd like to talk about a quick retro book, something that you guys might be interested in. The one I brought today, Young Justice, Book 1. This is the first trade paperback for the book. Any of you guys have ever watched the TV series on Cartoon Network, Young Justice? It's where all the
also Teen Titans.
Teen Titans, yeah. This is
Go
the,
Teen Titans.
It's the it's the sidekicks. Originally, Superboy, Robin, and Impulse. They were the guys who started off. Were basically the Teen Titans were the sidekicks originally. These are the next generation, and so the artist Todd Nook is going to be at Dallas Comic Show, I think, next weekend.
Yes.
And also, we're awaiting season 3 of Young Justice on the new streaming service for DC starting next year. So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Todd's work.
it's awesome work.
I've got one. I've got this really cool framed Nightcrawler #1 that's been cut out and made 3D through wood, and I'll bring it in next time and show y'all. But I'm going to take it to the con, get him to autograph that.
With this one, I bring this up just because it's like you can pick up book 1, not have to worry, but you got a good chunk in here. You got the 2-parter World Without Grown-Ups,
And that's
which-
all Peter David, right?
I think so, yeah. And then you have like the first 10 issues or so of the actual book. So it's $30, but I think it's a one-time read. I give it 2 thumbs up. I give my approval that I think you guys will enjoy it. But again, it's one time you can read it. If you don't like it, kind of end it there.
Yeah, I think it's a great read. I remember reading it when it first came out. It's really funny. I think if you enjoyed the Teen Titans cartoon, we're done. Where can we find you on the internet, Kyle?
At Kylepedia on Twitter and a lot of most internet services.
All right, I am at Clay_Harrison on Twitter, and you can find us at Next Issue Pod on Facebook and Next Issue on the Twitters. Thanks for coming in, EJ.
Yep, no problem.
All right, anything else, Kyle?
That's it.
All right, Excelsior.
Stanley.
This is watchingreallife.com.
So much stuff I didn't get. Yeah, the timing. That's why I wanted to have the timer to kind of things, but like, we might want to cover it briefly because the next comic show is doing 4 comic screenings. 30 Days of Nights with Steve Niles,